West will be worst hit. The strongest winds for Wales and southwest England this morning, and then that moves across northwest and Scotland later on today with gusts of up to 90 miles an hour.
Danger to life warning.
OK, so everybody will have wet and windy weather today, but it's the amber areas, southwest England, southwest Wales and northwest Scotland that have the amber warnings in force. We've already seen for southwest England and Wales half a month's worth of rainfall in just 12 hours. There is more rain to come. As Richard said, saturated ground. That brings the risk of further flooding. I've been looking at some of the river levels in Tewkesbury. They're already at 3.5 metres, and that's their level that properties will start to be flooded, so that's an area to watch at the moment. Another problem is people will start to drive through floodwaters. 30 centimetres is enough to float a car, so the advice is not to drive through them, and of course not to walk through them either, because we see manhole covers coming up. But we currently have 40 flood warnings and 225 flood alerts. This water flooding, when you get a lot of rain in a short space of time when the ground is saturated, that'll happen right across the country. But property flooding and business flooding will be through these western areas where we have our amber warnings in force and the river levels continuing to rise.
All right, Laura, thanks very much indeed. Now we're just inundated with rain, Laura.
And it still is exceptionally mild, but the warmer the air, the more moisture it holds. So this is kind of like an autumn storm in wintertime.
So normally, if it was cold...
It's set to cause widespread disruption, and we are set to see that today. And the storm has been named Storm Bram. It was named by the UK Met Office and the Irish Met Service. I'll remind us why a little later. But it's this deep area of low pressure, the isobars close together, showing it's set to be not just windy, but also very wet. And I thought I'd take us to 3 o'clock this afternoon. This is the peak in our wind gusts widespread across the UK. Later, we'll have an amber warning come into force. But by 3 o'clock this afternoon, when you're heading to the school pickup or thinking about heading home from work, we're going to be having 60 to 70 mile an hour gusts of wind around these. So wet and windy is definitely the forecast for today. And this is the wet scene on our radar. The heavy band of rain has been moving through Wales and the southwest of England overnight. The brighter echoes, the yellows and the greens for northern England and southern Scotland show where the heaviest rain is at the moment. And that is all set to move its way. Good morning to you. A wet and windy day with widespread disruption as Storm Bram moves across the country. This is the area of low pressure. The isobars pressure lines close together, showing it's set to be windy, but also very wet. These are the peak gusts of wind we've seen so far, 60 miles an hour, but we're set to see up to 90 miles an hour later on. Good morning to you. Storm Bram arrived overnight, named by the UK Met Office and Irish Met Service because it's set to cause widespread disruption. The isobars close together, the pressure lines showing how windy it's set to be, already gusts of wind of 60 miles an hour, and accompanying that heavy rainfall, already 82 millimetres of rain. Some areas of southwest have already seen half a month's worth of rainfall. That's it for me for now. There's plenty more still to come. You're watching Good Morning Britain. Good morning to you. Yes, Storm Bram is moving across the UK. The isobars pressure lines close together showing it's windy and bands of rain moving through showing it's wet. Now, peak gusts of wind so far, 60 miles an hour. They are set to strengthen. Rainfall totals so far up to 82 millimetres. That is half a month's worth of rainfall for wet. Welcome back to Good Morning Britain. It is a wet and windy morning as Storm Bram moves across the UK. This deep area of low pressure, the isobars pressure lines close together showing it's windy. And these are the peak gusts of wind we have had so far, 60 miles an hour. And that's set to strengthen as it moves its way northwards. And rainfall totals in western areas have been up to 82 millimetres. To put that into context, that's half a month's worth of rainfall in just 12 hours. So these are our latest weather warnings we have in force. Western areas worst impacted with both heavy rain and strong winds. Amber areas for Wales and the southwest where we have seen these high rainfall totals. And then the northwest of Scotland later with winds of up to 90 miles an hour. And actually recently, the Met Office have issued an amber across Northern Ireland for later today, wind gusts of up to 80 miles an hour. So wet and windy. This is a sequence of rainfall that moved in overnight, spreading its way northwards. The southwest have seen the heaviest rainfall. Now that's turning into showers. Then it's northern areas that are set to see the heavy rainfall within the next few hours. This comes in two spells. First, our rain band moves through, and then the winds look set to increase through western areas, funneling up through this west coast of England and Wales. So let's take a look at this in detail. So this is 3 o'clock this afternoon. The black circles are our wind arrows, and we're seeing gusts of 40 to 50 miles an hour around these western coasts. We're up to 60 to 70 miles an hour through western areas of Scotland. So big waves, stay away from the coast. There'll be flooding around as well, so don't drive through floodwaters. 30 centimetres is enough to float a car, and this wet and windy weather clears clears away overnight tonight.